This tutorial is going to show you how to do the Grime Art in Photoshop. First thing you're going to do is open up Safari, go to Google Images, and type in the person who you want to draw, the person whose face you want to cover with the Grime Art. I'm choosing Taylor Swift. Make sure you click on that picture so it's nice and big. You don't want it pixelated. And then drag and drop it to the desktop. If you have trouble dragging and dropping, you can take a screenshot, Shift Command 4, or Control click, Save Image As, and it will save on the desktop. So now you're going to open up Photoshop and create new and always choose default. Also make sure under Window that you have your history checked, layers checked, and tools. You can see I have my layers, I have my history, and my tools. I drag my image and then hit return to make the blue X go away. Now to make a new layer, you want to go to Layer, New Layer, or you can hit the little plus sign in the layer box. You need to make a new layer, and on this layer you're going to choose the color black. Click on that little box in your tools. The top left box is the color. I choose black. Go to your brush. I'm going to zoom in, Command plus, and what you want to do is draw eyebrows. You want to trace the eyes. You want to make lines under the eyes, and then some slimy, drippy stuff. So you'll follow along, and I'll speed this up so you can see what I'm doing. Once you draw the eyebrows and circle the eyes, you want to make some lines underneath each eye. I'm going to draw 3 lines like this. I'm going to draw the nose, just kind of encircle the nose, and then color in the nostrils. I traced the lips, I drew something on the chin, and now I'm going to draw these little squiggly, slimy little lines to make it look like there's something dripping off of her face. This is what makes it grimy, kind of like slimy. And I'm just going to cover it all over her, on her forehead, on her face, and I will speed it up. Okay, now you're ready to color, but you have to put it on a new layer. So you can go to Layer, New Layer, or in the layer box, hit the little plus sign. Either one will work. When you create, there's the plus sign. When you create the new layer, you want to name it because otherwise you're going to start getting confused. So I'm going to call this layer the color layer because I'm going to color on it. And really important, once you create this layer, the color layer, you need to actually move it so that it's underneath layer 1. The reason is when you color, you want to color it and you want it underneath the black lines so that you don't cover the black lines. Okay, so now as long as your color is underneath layer 1, which it is, I can color it in. If you color and you cover those black lines, then you just simply need to take your color layer and move it underneath the layer with the lines. So I'm going to color it. I'm going to speed this up. Okay, little trick here. I'm going to try to make some shadows. The easy way to do this is to click on that little square in your tools, the green one, and you can lower your, put your mouse slightly lower on the palette, and you'll see just a slighter variation of your color. And once you have that, you can see I'm going to start to take that lighter green and just fill in little spaces with it, and that gives it more of a 3-dimensional look, more of a sophisticated look, makes it look a little bit more sophisticated than just having one color. The color palette will even show you the original color that you chose, and then when you move your mouse, it'll show you variations. So I'm going to choose a green that's slightly lighter than the green I used. And now I'm going to take that little green and highlight it all over her face. Now I'm coloring in the eyes white, and here's where I want to show you a really cool feature on Photoshop. If you look at the top bar, you can change into From the drop down menu, you can go to dodge or burn. I'm going to start with the color dodge. And with the color dodge, what that does, oops, I didn't mean to make that white. I'm going to change my color to green. And then with the color dodge selected, it kind of just plays off of the green or whatever color you're using and it dodges that color to make it a little bit brighter. It just gives it a real cool flare. And the other one that I want you to see in the drop down menu is the color burn. And the color burn is going to do something very similar. It takes the color that you chose, in my case it's green, and with this color burn, when I select color burn, it's going to actually kind of burn the color. In other words, if I were to take whatever color I'm using and burn it, it would become much darker. And you can see how the color burn option works. Now, this is just a fun feature in Photoshop. Just be reminded that it can be a destructive feature. So if you play around with it and you don't like it, that's why you have your history bar open. With your history bar, you can undo all these actions and keep it how it originally was if you don't like it. That's it. If you want to shut off the original photo layer, you can. If you look at your layers, the layer that has the original image, if you hit the eyeball, it will shut off, or you can keep it on. It's up to you. And that's the project.